Diane, I'm listening to a podcast, Black Lodge Trivia Night. I've never heard so many game aspirations in my life. All right, welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night. This is Art again, by myself. Matt and Patrick, usually I sort of look up and try and figure out, but this time I know Matt and Patrick are actually hanging out in person and getting in some gaming time face to face. So I hope they're having a great time, and I'm happy to do a little more Call of Cthulhu Alone Against the Dark in the meantime. And yeah, what were we doing last time? Last time was actually an interesting session. Let me bring it up here. You remember last time we basically spent most of it investigating the pyramid with a little assist from Foundry VTT because I wasn't sure how to do this in Fantasy Grounds. So we got through the pyramid. We started here. I don't know if, we started, I don't know if my mouse is showing it, but we started in K, worked our way basically up over, then ended up getting down into the bowels of the pyramid. And when we got somewhere in these bottom corners, I don't know which one it was, we witnessed a ceremony, a sort of evil summoning of sorts. And can't remember the thing's name, but basically there was the cult was summoning, whatever the evil endgame bad guy was. We had the option as part of the adventure, if we had dynamite, throw dynamite in, blow the whole thing up, and seal the portal that they were using for the summoning. And I think I sort of cheated a little bit and peeked. What would that mean? I think that would have meant we won the adventure. But because I'm sort of playing fast and loose with inventory, I didn't know if I had dynamite. I think I said specifically, I'm going to go to this shop, I'm going to provision up, but I didn't state what that meant. So I wasn't sure if that would include dynamite. In my head, it wouldn't, so I did a luck roll. My luck was really low. I failed, so I just assumed I did not have the dynamite. And then I sort of hit an impasse. Like, what does this mean? There were things built into the adventure for like a chase scene if I had the dynamite to blow it up, but it didn't really say what to do otherwise. So I think what I'm going to do, and I sort of skimmed through the book because I wasn't sure, was I supposed to have dynamite? Was this something that was specified? I couldn't find it if it was, so I'm just going to assume that we see this summoning, we step back, and we make our way out, and then we have to proceed forward from there. So that's what I sort of have to figure out. I guess we can stop looking at this. Go back to Fantasy Grounds. I think I need to figure out what that means and how we go from there. So let me just do a little bit on my end to get all my windows rearranged now. There we go. So here we are. We're back in Fantasy Grounds, and we had how to explore the pyramid. I thought, honestly, I really liked this aspect of it. I think I was saying this last time, as much as I love all the Oracle-driven stuff that's become popular recently, and I've used for Dragonbane and the One Ring to great effect for me personally. I really enjoyed both of those. There's something about this that just feels more old school and more like an adventure. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm just doing story time with dice rolls, and I don't mean that in a bad way. This feels like an adventure. So anyway, if you see, you're in a large, dimly lit circular chamber. The Carpathos device is in the wall. I think this is where we were. So let's, if it's after November 20, go to 429. Before, go to 405. So let's just see if this is what we were looking at last time. 405 up. Here it is. Yeah, so you sneak down the steps. Chamber's unlike anything you've seen before. The lower walls are smooth, almost mirror-like. Okay. Attendees stand on the floor below. 5 tall figures with grayish skin and hollow eyes stand before a short Arabic-looking man whose eyes glisten in the shadows. I did do the sanity rolls. I don't know if it went well or not. Let's see. Then you see the Carpathos device gleaming in the subdued light. Oh, wait, no. Sharp man turns and faces the solemn creature. You don't understand the words he speaks, but his meanings are clear in your mind. The hour has arrived, my master. The time for the city of the old ones has come. Now your kingdom shall be greater than Mu, greater than Atlantis, and we shall be with you, not as mere servants, but as lords. The man turns and faces the wall. Then you see the Carpathos device gleaming in the subdued light. The man touches the wall and an opening appears, as dark as the pit to hell. The man inserts the device, and the whole wall seems to part. A shaft of prismatic light arcs into the room, swirling around everyone. The man screams, and you see a glistening silver top appear, hovering in the air. As the top waits there, the man shakes and quivers with extraordinary violence. His flesh seems to melt from his bones until he becomes a horrifying mass of pulsating material. Sickening foul odor fills the room while you hear mental messages again. So basically, yeah. The top is taken by the pulsating mass. The fleshy mass begins to reform itself into a man, but a different and taller one. You can't make him out. You do perceive that the top to be taken somewhere, but now all you can understand is Starkweather more. I guess it's good I read that because I had forgotten that detail. Starkweather more. Okay. Make a sanity roll and lose 1d6, 1d20. I recall that could have been... What is my sanity at? My sanity's at 32. So it was possible I could have really taken a ding. I guess... I didn't. I just remember I didn't take massive hits from those. So whether sane or insane, if you have dynamite, this is what I was talking about. You can try to seal up this horror show forever. I didn't have dynamite. So I guess this is a thing, like, I don't play a ton of Cthulhu. So I'm curious, like, is that something that, like, someone who is experienced with Cthulhu would be like, yeah, I mean, damn, bro, you bring dynamite. You're fighting the undead and overwhelming monsters. You're not just going to bring, like, a machete or a pistol. But, I don't know. I think that had I thrown the dynamite, you then get chased by mummies. I honestly think that if I succeeded with the dynamite and then got murdered by mummies, that actually isn't the worst ending. Like, you saved the world, but, you know, you didn't make it. If you succeed with all of the fighting or dodge rolls, you survive and escape and head to the entrance at 399. So here's the thing. I was going to go to 399 because I don't know what to do, but I guess it's good to know. Let me... Starkweather more is important. Where was I? At one point I was doing player notes. I think I might just put on my character sheet. I spend more time with that, so let's just see. Summoning ritual Starkweather - more. I assume this is going to start giving me clues to go to the next. I wonder what happens. You know what? I think 418. I wonder what if it's after November 20th, because I'm never going to run through this part of the adventure again. I wonder why it's important to, after November 20th, attempt a stealth roll. You know what? I'm not going to spoil it for other people if they... That'd be stupid. Okay, so we're looking to go to 399. Let me close some of these out. Yeah, let's go to 399. You're now in section K at the end of the slope. You see a shaft down, and across the shaft, stairs lead up. Okay, so this is basically taking us back to the entry for the opening passage. So I think what we'll do is, I didn't explore the whole pyramid, but I think what I saw was so overwhelming that I can't just be like, you know, Taylor Swift, shake it off, and then go to the next area like nothing happened. So I think I need to pull back. We need to regroup with Jahark, because he, I think, took some sanity hits. And then the Cairo University translator is probably just a quivering mess. I didn't have an official sanity stat for them, but given how much sanity I was losing, I was just going to assume that they were taking hits left and right as well, so. You can see behind me something strange out the windows, and that is daylight. It's not an advantage of when I have to do this by myself. It's always more fun in a group, but it's a little more flexible. So I apologize. I'm still getting my caffeine and trying to get some role playing in before the day really starts. So okay, so let's say we've gotten back to the top of the pyramid. We're going to be going back to Cairo. What I'll do is it's been a while, so just to refresh, this is what our dapper Ernest Holt looks like, give you an idea of what we're working with. Ernest Holt, if you remember, is former military, wealthy. I think former military, I mean, I thought the Navy. Anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, that's Ernest Holt. He's taking care of business. Actually held his own so far decently. So let's see where we're going to go. Like, we've already cleared out the museum, right? I'm trying to figure out, like, what do I do with that Starkweather Moor? Is that something that we've seen before? Like, has it been in a newspaper or something? Police, is there a newspaper here that I could just double check? So you know what? Let's bring up the calendar. I totally forgot about that. Let's call October 2nd a wash. It's done. It's the 3rd. We spent the bulk of the day into the evening exploring. We saw what we saw. It was a nightmare, and let's now go to Saturday morning, 9 a.m. And yeah, let's see what we got. See, I feel like I did all these treasures, luck rolls. I don't know if I did the museum. We did the pyramid. We don't have to worry about sleeping. Oh, you know what? Sleeping arrangements. We do have to roll for private homes, huts, mansions, blah, blah, blah. Each night you spend in a private home, attempt 1 luck roll. Okay, so I have to do a luck roll. Forgot about that. My luck's terrible, so the chances of me succeeding are pretty small. 94. Let me just see something really quickly. That's what I thought. Okay, give me 1 sec. Let's assign this to what? We'll assign this to that. I'm just trying to see, like, as always, some things have changed on my setup, so I'm trying to, there we go, get the audio for the rolls in. So there we go. Okay. So I failed the luck roll. Doesn't matter. We're going to start the day. We'll say that we ate, and where else can we go? Museum, university, the rail station, outfitters, airports, police, railway, hospital. I think it's just healing. I think we haven't really taken any hit points. It's just sanity. And I don't know how, I probably should read how to regain sanity, but who cares at the moment? Hotels, taxis. Yeah, I don't know where else. Yeah, let me see really quickly. Unfortunately, I don't know. New York Sun, European edition. We went there, I think, in... Okay, yes, here we go. I was going to say, because I think we went there in Athens. The Starkweather Moor expedition nears readiness as the Dark Sea heads to Bremen, Germany. Okay, so I sort of put together now, because it's been a while. So Starkweather Moor is out of Bremen, Germany. So knowing that I got that clue, I think I'd be like, okay, let's figure out how to head there next. So we would probably... Again, Ernest Holt has cash, but I think he would probably try the train. We can take the train to Alexandria. Would we have to fly to Bremen? So basically, I'm trying to figure out how to get to Bremen. So let me... Okay, so it looks like we would book a flight to Bremen. So we spend this Saturday... The Athens flight departs 3:06. The Bremen flight's 9:05. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to spend Saturday here in Cairo wrapping things up. Maybe I would swing by the police. Not that it's going to matter. But, museum. Was there somebody in the museum we could talk to? I think we want to go back to the curator. Let's see if we can get to the curator. I don't know. Yeah, this was kind of a dead end. So let's go to the police just to see if that does anything. And then on Sunday the 4th, we're going to fly to Bremen. Let's just see what the police says. Affable enough, they have no information concerning what you want to know. If it's after October 31st, it's not. Okay. So I think... You know what? This is what it is. I think after our adventures, we regroup. We take some time to steady ourselves. And I'm looking in the book right now just to see quickly about insanity. Not literally insanity, but can you recover sanity points? I'm sure that's in the Keeper rulebook. Let me just... Not the Keeper. Yeah. Investigator Handbook. So let me just double check that real quick. Because, again, not that I'm using too many of the rules through this, but I guess the few that I am using, I'd like to try and get right every now and then. Plus, I mean, what's the point of having all these awesome books? You don't use them. Index. Sanity. Oh, come on. Oh, occupation list. Here we go. Alphabetical. I didn't want... had it. Sanity. 215 to 223. Okay. Advice for players. Is that 215? Problems in play. Sanity. Okay. Just a general blah, blah, blah. Making reality checks. Maximum sanity. Role-playing insanity. Tracking sanity points, crossing the 20% line. You know what? I'm just going to leave it. If I break, I break. Okay, here we go. So yeah, so that's what we do. We spend the day, you know, we all go home, come back, we take the poor university translator out to like a lavish meal. We break bread, we drink wine, and we say our goodbyes. And, you know, Jahark, you know, promises to keep us informed if, you know, he sees or hears anything further developing here in Cairo. We pay the university translator, and I make sure to give him like a nice extra fat bonus for everything that he's experienced and had to suffer through. We also say it might be, given what we've seen, it might be worth keeping it to ourselves, keep it quiet. Just don't go around the city talking about what you saw and, things like that. It might put them in danger. And so with that, we spend one more night in Cairo, having said our final goodbyes, hugs, etc., etc. And I make sure I'm all packed for the morning. Now again, one more night, we make a luck roll. I don't know what happens. I probably looked at some point, but since we're leaving, let me just see what happens. Go to 198. I probably looked. Your host speaks English. If you fail those rolls, but you haven't. You failed the luck roll and concede language Arabic. Oh, interesting. So they talk a little bit more about. Okay, the ancient door of Aten will open and top that turns the world returns to the blasphemous pit. Okay. So basically, our host would know a little bit about rumors of the summoning ritual that's happening at the bottom of the pyramid. Good enough. Okay. Good to know. Let's make it the 4th. We'll do that. We're gonna make it 9 a.m., which means we got up and got to the airport for our 9 a.m. flight to Bremen. So we ate beforehand. So one of the 2 hours we have to spend dining, we've already taken care of. Again, around the airport, you detect an odor resembling manure. You also see many British troops. Can we put 2 and 2 together there? Are they saying the British? No. A few planes are scattered about the tarmac. Regular flights are available on a Ford Tri-Motor and on a smaller but steadier Northrop Alpha. We're going to Bremen. Let's see what it's saying. A free shuttle runs between the airport and the harbor. It's cold and foggy. You were lucky to arrive before a landing was impossible. So it's now 5 p.m. in Bremen. We're going to say What year is it? It's 31. At some point, air travel enters like a fancy period where people would wear suits and they serve steak dinners on flights. Before that, though, I think it was a little more rustic, and now it's just packing human beings in like cattle, shoving them in the most uncomfortable. Anyway, but there's a window, and I think it was in the 40s and 50s, maybe 60s. So I don't know if we would get the classic steak meal on the plane and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to say when we get to Bremen, maybe I'll arrange some lodging and then get some food. So goodbye, Cairo. We've done it. We've proceeded to the next area in the world, Bremen Harbor. Bremerhaven, Bremen's harbor area, appears quiet in the cold air of early morning. It's not morning, it's night. Let's go to the location table. So you're going to get the full effect here. I took German in college, and I was very bad at it. So, brace for impact. So what I'm not seeing here is, I think the steamship, the Dark Sea, that's the expedition. There's nothing here specifically about let's say I get to, if it's before December 20th, let's say, you take the shuttle from the airport to the harbor. You see a freighter at anchor in the harbor. We'll just ignore the part where it's the morning. Dense, icy fog hangs over the port, so that's the important detail. You see a freighter at anchor in the harbor apart from the others. Your eyes note that the reinforced hull and the silver wingtips coming from the bulky tarpaulins. You know what? I don't know if I've ever heard that word out loud. Tarpaulins? Tarpaulins is what I'm going to go with. On the deck. Probably Dorniers stored in sections. You can't read the banner hanging limply in the damp air, but it almost surely says Starkweather Moor. The twin stacks of the ship disappear in the low-hanging fog. To go aboard the ship, or visit a nearby inn. Oh, I guess it's the inn and it has a restaurant. So, yeah, so we make our way to the harbor. We see the ship and we're immediately drawn to it because, Starkweather Moor, that's important. But it's evening and we still need to make sure we eat and find a place to stay. So we make our way to the inn. And what do? Let's click on that. You enter the smoke-filled public room. You're greeted with boisterous talk, steins loaded with foamy beer, and a crowd of brown shirts. The red and black swastika armbands clearly visible in the smoky haze. Rooms are available for the night. If you wish to do more than here than sleep, go to 491. When you're done, go to any Bremen location. Yeah, let's see what happens. We're gonna get a meal. We're gonna check in. You can try one of the following roles once per day until you succeed, or you can relax for a while. With a successful spot hidden, succeed with a listen. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by, I'll check in, and probably don't need the airport anymore. Probably don't need this one anymore. Bremen Harbor. I'll leave that one up for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down. I've checked in, get a table, start having a meal. I'm going to start with a listen roll. So first things first, let's go to our skills. Get some dice rolling going. I don't know if I'm good at listening. Not bad, it's a 50. I'm not going to give myself any bonuses. I'm just sitting there in the restaurant. How do I... There we go. 69. I don't think I have the luck. No, I've only got 9 left, so I can't buy my way to a success there. So I don't hear anything. As I'm sitting there eating, I'm sort of by myself, maybe I pull out the newspaper from my attaché case or whatever, but I'm keeping my eye open given everything that's happened so far. So let's do the spot hidden roll now. That's a 70, that's a little bit better. And I succeed with a 40. Okay, so let's give that a shot. A group of brown shirts cluster about a curiously shaped box. Get a closer look, go to 474, or return to 491. So I think so I've noticed the box. I've noticed the brown shirts clustered around them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the other checks really quickly because I don't think I have much psychology. Oh no, I do have psychology. I'm certainly bad with the Cthulhu mythos. Man, I've got like a 0. I wonder if there's a thing like if you is there automatic success in this? Like even if you got a 0, like a 15 is not going to do it. But like if you get a 1 or 5 or less, I don't know. But so I quickly sort of, while I'm scanning them, these things are sort of going on in my mind. Let's see how I do with psychology. I rolled an 89 against a 50. So what I do attempt is, I finish my meal. I notice the brown shirts still, crowded around a table. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and fly casually and make my way past the table to get a glimpse of what they're looking at. So let's see how that goes. Where are the... Spot hidden, listen. It was spot hidden, right? Okay, 474. They rise uneasily, wary at your approach. A man steps forward saying, Sprechen Sie Deutsch? If you have any language skill in German, I have a little bit. Go to 473. If not, okay, so since I do, let's go to 473. What are you doing? He asks. For your options, go to 485. What do you want? His hostility is evident. If you feign idle interest, go to 482. If you ask about the box, 478. I don't know if I would just say, like, what's up with that box? I think I'd do more idle interest. Be off with you, he snarls. Feeling foolish, you meekly go. 461. Okay. I have a feel like in my mind, like, had I just gone all in, I feel like, yeah, I was gonna say it starts a fight, like, and that's, again, it's not what I'm trying to do. All right, so we're back at the inn, and we call it a night. So it's not gonna be Monday the 4th. It's gonna be, again, we'll make it like 8 or 9 a.m. 9 a.m. means that we've already eaten breakfast. That's why I keep doing that. We're at the inn. We don't need the... And we just need the Bremen location, so let's start there. Okay, so there's the harbor, the airport, the inn, a retail store, a hospital, the steamship. So there's really not much here in Bremen, to be honest with you. We can... What was at the harbor? Okay, that's the inn. You know, it's the next day, and I think you can... So I think you can make checks, what did it say, once per day? So I'm going to do another... I already did the spot hidden. Let me give another listen roll the next morning. I'll do all of them, right? Another listen roll again. I think I have a 50. Gotta check spot hidden. Again, you don't actually do the skill advancements, but part of the Cthulhu is if you succeed, you check that. What was I doing? Listen. I got a 50 for a skill. And I roll a 52. Let's do it. Let's spend that 2 luck. It's interesting, you know, it says, if you look at the chat box, it says spend 2 of your 9 luck to succeed. And it didn't say that when I failed by 19. So somewhere in there, it's not just saying, like, it's actually calculating based on your current luck. So it's doing a little bit of work for you there, which is, again, it's nice. I really like how this Fantasy Grounds module works so far. And again, the fact, as I pointed out last time, showing the Foundry one, that everything's already entered, makes it such a breeze. So we succeed this time on the listen roll. So let's see what that says. That's the spot hidden. What's listen? If you succeed with a language German roll, go to 450. Oh, okay. So my German is a 25. So the chances of me succeeding are poor. 26. I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend another one of my luck. So I'm down to 6 luck. I'm getting the info. A raucous group of brown shirts are laughing about something. You make out the words Führer, Triumph, and Amulet. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely giving off, you know, Indiana Jones vibes, right? Like, now that we've gotten to Bremen and we're dealing with early days of Nazi Germany and the Nazis, you know, again, all the occult things that Indiana Jones franchise introduces with them. Okay, so I learned a little bit about an Amulet, Triumph, and Führer. Okay. So let's 57. We return to 491, which is the inn. Now let me try that psychology check. Again, I have a 0 in Cthulhu Mythos, so this is not going to go well. I got a 27 for the psychology check. So let's see where that takes us. Psychology is 458. There's fear in the room, but of what? Brown shirts? Succeed with a with a luck roll. Fail and return. Okay. Again, my luck is now a 6. And I rolled a 97. So there's a bit of a window there. There's a little daylight between the target number and what my actual roll was. So we go back to 491 having learned nothing. That's okay. So given that, now, again, we're at the inn. It is October 5th. We'll say it's 10 in the morning. Why not? There's not many places to go. Like, if I go to the rail station, what's the point? That's the harbor. Is that a typo? Oh, it's all the same. Okay. Retail store, again, as if we just want to shop. Let's see what the Bremen location has to... Yeah, there's nothing there. And there's the Dark Sea, the hospital. We don't need to heal. The inn. So I think we go to the steamship. Open up a map. Now, is this an entry that we can drag? Nope, that's just... Can I drag it from here? There we go. Okay. So I've just added the map to our hotbar at the bottom. Again, I've said it before. One of the best. This is kind of the amulet I'm guessing that the brown shirts are talking about. Got some images of it. If you remember... Okay. The gangplank is down. If you wait here and try to talk to the sailors, go to 494. If you go to see the captain, go to 487. If you want to see the expedition leader, go to 497. You can attempt an intelligence roll once daily. If you are successful, go to 453 or go to any Bremen location. So let's bump this up a little bit. See, it's not too blurry. Okay. I didn't know how big the original image was, and but yeah, you can sort of get an idea of what the ship looks like. The Dark Sea. I assume the reinforced hull means it's icebreaker. Okay. So let's start by making that intelligence roll. I think I've actually got a little intelligence. I'm working with an 80. You can do this once a day. And I roll a 45, so I succeed there. So let's get that started. You decide to stow away. What? Oh. Okay, so if I... Okay, this is good to know. If I want to stow away, I can. So I'm going to keep this information in my back pocket and see how it goes. Until then, though, let me... I'll spend an hour trying to talk to the sailors. Let's just see what happens. The sailors aren't easy about the weather and the polar trip. They say that the captain, old Haddock, is hiring only crewmen with particular skills. If you decide to try and fake the skills needed for the journey into a dangerous environment, make a combined know and luck roll instead of the specific skill roll needed. Note this down. So combined... Combined skills. What's my no? It's an education roll. Now my education is pretty solid at 65. The question is, how do you tweak that with luck? Where did I put my books? Okay. What we're looking to do is a combined roll. Investigator handbook. Let's see if we can figure that out really quickly. Combined skill rolls, page 97. In some situations, the keeper may ask you to roll against more than one skill. Only one dice roll is made, and the result is then compared with each of the skills named. Keeper will specify whether success is required for both skills or if only one of the skills needs to be successful. What I could try and do is I would need to... I don't know what the skills are, though. So what I would do is I would need to make a roll, and the roll would need to both be below a 65 and a 6. So, you know, I rolled a 94, so that's not going to work. Okay, so the captain's hiring people who have 25% or better in electrical repair, mechanical repair, navigation, operate heavy machinery, pilot aircraft, survival. Do I have any of those? I don't know how I would, because they are not, like, survival's not a skill. Pilot. Again, is not... Mechanical repair, I don't have. That I see. Electrical repair is a skill. I don't have the navigation. Navigate, I don't quite have. Heavy machinery. I'm terrible at. Pilot aircraft. I assume I don't have it. And survival. Now, interestingly enough, yeah, I don't see survival listed. I don't know if it's... Okay, so I would have had to fake my way. I don't have any of those. I'm not going to be hired. That's fine. Okay. Let me see if I can talk to the captain. You know, like, I feel like I've got some money, got this fancy hat. I look like I'm somebody that's worth at least having a meeting with, right? I don't think that's ridiculous to think that you see somebody like this, I'm a little dapper, that you might be like, oh, I wonder what he's up to. Especially with somebody who runs, like, steamships, like, maybe I want to hire him. Maybe I want to help fund the expedition. I think that might be a reason why the expedition leader might want to talk to me, but maybe the captain would be like, oh, maybe he needs my ship for something in the future. So let's do that. Let's go to 47. The captain's hiring people who have 25%. Okay. Let's go to 488. If you're Grunwald, I'm not. If you're Lau, I'm not. If you're Wilson, I'm not. If you're Holt, pick one of the following rolls to try once per day. If you roll a successful Persuade, go to Charm, Fast Talk, Intimidate. So basically, I might be able to talk my way on board with the captain. So let's check my skills. Persuade is a 40. Charm is a 15. Okay. Fast Talk is a 5. Woof. Intimidate is a 65. I was going to say Intimidate feels right for this guy. So let's try Intimidate. Need a 65. I get a 10. So extreme success. Go to 471. He stares at you. Sir, that tone of voice may serve you well in the boardrooms of New York, but this is my expedition. Good day. Go to 488 or wait a day and go to 490. Yeah, you know what? Let me come back the next day. You know, I understand I pissed him off. Let me... Oh. Screw that. Okay, forget it. No. Make it back to the 5th. It's 11 a.m. I didn't know if that would just be like, okay, try talking to the captain again. Talk to the captain, go to 47. Let me bring that one back up. 488. You know what? Yeah, let's make it the next day. Let me try Oh, but before I do that though, let me see if I can speak to the expedition leader, 497, before we call this one a day. Professor Eustace Blake is very busy coordinating the expedition. Who are you? What do you want? He asks. If you're Grinvald, who's dead, he's happy to see you. If you're anyone else, he talks with some reluctance. The trip is to retrace the ill-fated journey of the Lake expedition. He attributes stories of lost cities to Dementia, Antarctica. To try and join the expedition, go to 463. Let's see how to do this. You decide to cut your hair and pose as a sailor to talk to the other sailors. 494. Talk to the captain. So I think here's the issue. Again, I've said this before. It's too, and it has to be given the nature of how this adventure is constructed. It's too binary, so to speak, on how it's either this or it's that. I wouldn't cut my hair and pose as a sailor, right? I would be talking to the lead of the expedition, and I could offer him money. I could do other things besides try and go incognito. But because this has to function in a certain way, they have to respond to preset choices, or else, this is not an Oracle system, right? So I think what I'm going to end up doing is there is no way for me to talk my way on today. It's good to know that at least if I need to, I can stow away. I'm going to go to the 6th. I'm going to make it 9 a.m. I'm going to look at my character sheet. I think, what did I have? Persuade was 40. So let me see if I can persuade the captain. My roll is a 37, so let's see how that goes. Because it's, again, the next day. You get to try once per day. Persuade, go to 43. Captain says, our sponsors are Mr. Starkweather and Mr. Moore. You must ask them if this expedition is for sale, he says. Good day. Okay. The reason why I'm sort of going, okay. Again, part of good GMing is yes anding, right? You know what I mean? And I've succeeded now on 2 separate rolls. Intimidate and persuade. And in both cases, it was like too bad. So what I was just saying, I don't think applies here. I know that they have to be able to accommodate very specific answers because of how this is structured as a choose your own adventure style. But I don't see why they couldn't have had intimidate. I wouldn't have even offered the option. If you're going to let me roll, succeed, and still tell me no, I don't think I would have put that option in there at all. Persuade, I succeed, and you tell me no. Like, I don't even know what to do with that. Because 490 just sends you back to the beginning. 488, I think, is just, do you want to try something else? I succeeded on Persuade, and I succeeded on Intimidate. What's my charm? They're both terrible. 15, and my Fast Talk is 5. I want to see. I'm going to not go with it. I'm going to stow away. I want to know what happens if 495 you Fast Talk. He looks at you somewhat surprised. Sorry, I don't really follow. I don't have time to argue. That doesn't work. And what was my worst one? It was, that was Charm. Fast Talk was Fast Talk. 495. That's, okay, what's Charm? 489. Okay. So with your successful Charm, you do like, okay, so let's just see. try another charm roll. Alright, boom, one more charm roll, and then we'll... I don't know if I know when the ship actually leaves. Basically what I could do is I could try once per day to charm this guy's pants off. If I had more luck, I could have probably given it a shot. Bought my way. I rolled it. Okay, there's... Oh! Okay, so I saw the double zeros. I'm like, I got a shot on this one, and then it failed. It was a 100, not a... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stow away. It is interesting that, again, you can charm your way on. I don't like that every other option is a failure, even with a success. I don't know what I would have done differently, but I wouldn't have set up something where it's like, oh, why the fuck did you make me check if I'm just going to fail when I succeed, right? That's sort of... Anyway. So, okay. Does it say when the boat leaves? Let me look on the, Right, like, I don't actually know when the expedition leaves. Okay. Well, let's, You decide to stow away. You can stash food and water, you can find shelter in any one of the following hiding places. Lifeboat, cargo hold lower deck, engine room. If you choose to do this, write down your location and go to 456. Okay. I think I would go to the lower deck storage. I think being on the lifeboat, I'm going to be exposed to the elements. We're going to Antarctica, so it's going to get quite cold. So I think I'm going to shoot for the lower deck. So let me jot down for my notes that we will be stowing away in the lower deck. We're going to go to 456. The trip lasts 26 plus 26 days. So it's going to last 30 days. Say we left on the 11th. 2, 3, 4... 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 11, 12, 13, 14... 21... 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So it's November 9th. Now let's call it, yeah, November 9th, whatever. Okay, so we get up there. If you hid in the lifeboat, it's checked once during the voyage. Successfully roll your stealth to avoid being discovered. If you hid in the cargo hold, successfully roll your stealth. Okay, so if you're in the lower deck, you could do charm or fast talk. If you're in the engine room, charm or psychology. What's my psychology? That's not bad. What's my stealth? Stealth is shit. You know what? Let's just... because who cares? I'd rather... Again, I'm not looking for dead ends, so I'm going to say... I hid in the engine room, and now I'm going to do my psychology. I know it's... 50. Got it even. Perfect. I needed a 50 to succeed. That's my skill. And I rolled a 50. So we made friends. You know, I'm just going to... I think this is more interesting. Stowing away in the engine room. I kind of wish I knew going in what those options were so I could sort of shape narrative. Because again, I'd be like, okay, I see the engine room. Maybe if I could make friends with it, like I would start to formulate a plan. That I can fit to what they're asking me to do. So I personally, I don't mind the fact that I sort of retconned it because I think that's how I would approach it anyway. I wouldn't just be like, shit, just pick one, bro. I think I'd like, how's this going to work? I'd be trying to calculate. I'm a smart guy. I'd be trying to calculate how am I going to manage this, given that the trip's going to take a while. Okay, so if you hit the engine room, successfully roll your charm. If you fail, you're found out. If you succeed, you make it to Antarctica without being discovered and go to 510. You've made it, but now what? Now you have no choice but to come out of hiding or unmask your disguise. What shall you do? Turn yourself in, go to 511, try and enlist someone's aid, go to 530, try and sneak around. I'm not going to sneak around, I'm bad at that. Let me see about enlisting someone's aid. Select a leader to approach. Rambo, Blake, Crawford, or Jones. Select one of the following skills. Credit rating. What is my credit rating? 50? Okay. Persuade. 40. Fast talk. 5. Intimidate. 65. Or charm. Charm's 15. Intimidate is my highest, but it feels like a bad way to go. I don't have any Cthulhu. It's then saying add any Cthulhu Mythos skill points you have. I have 0. So it's going to be a straight roll. I feel like credit rating is a 50. I rolled a 66. I'll go with Intimidate and say I succeeded. I rolled a 42 for Intimidate. Actually, I didn't. Rambo or Blake? I don't know. I thought Starkweather... I wrote it in my player's notes, right? Nope, not there. Starkweather Moore. So I don't know who any of these people are. Rambo, Blake, Crawford, or Jones. So here's the thing. Did I miss something? Who's the captain? I have no idea. 487. So I haven't gotten any names, so I don't know how I would have known. Like, I don't know who Rambo, Blake, Crawford, or Jones. I don't know why I would have picked Rambo and Blake over anybody else. But so yeah, here's the thing. So like, I'm gonna go with just Blake because yeah, whatever. Because if I don't, like, you fail. Depending on where you are, your experiences vary. Coastline lines suffer dramatic flooding and panic ensues. Scientists claim. Okay, so I get locked up if I fail, and it's the end of the game. So it's not even like you're dead and you can pick it back up with a new PC. So I'm just gonna say I passed on a... I don't even know. I passed on an Intimidate check with Rambo, because again, if I pick Crawford or Jones, you're stuck, and then the game's over. And so I don't know if I missed something, but yeah, just so, and then we make it to the Antarctic base camp. We're just gonna keep going. Why not? See map below. I'm gonna add this map there. The expedition camps at point D. You know what? Here's where we're going to stop. It's a little bit of a short session, but we're going to pick this up starting with the Antarctica base camp. And I know I fudged it a little bit, but it was going to be a literal game over if I didn't. If it was just you died, I would have been like, okay, and then I would have tried to figure out a way. I don't even know how narratively you would have then had the reporter start up meeting in Antarctica, of all places. So, regardless, hopefully this has been okay. Again, we'll pick it up next time with the Antarctica base camp, and this might be the final leg of the campaign here. So thanks again for everybody checking this out. Hopefully you're enjoying this. Hopefully you don't mind the way I'm fudging my way through it. I know it's a little bit of a shorter session, but I feel like this is a good place to stop. So Thanks again to everybody. If you're watching this, you've already found our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. For audio versions of these actual plays, just search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever you get your podcasts, and we should show up there. Check out the Discord if you want to jump in. We talk about RPGs and CRPGs. We've got a rotation going on at the time of this recording. We're starting to dip our toe into Symbaroum from Free League. We've got our Mithras Imperative Cold War spy game going. We've got some old school CRPGs, Lord of the Rings. Anyway, hopefully there's something there that you enjoy. But mostly, thanks again for checking this out. And we'll be back again with more. Thanks. The music during the RPG session in Foundry was provided by the Foundry module Tabletop RPG Music and composed by Ian Fisher. You can find his Patreon at www.patreon.com/tabletop RPG music, all one word.